Welcome back. We're focusing on mineral nutrition and the work of Purina in helping producers grow and care for their cattle in the most efficient ways possible. Back with us in the studio are Dr. N.T. Cosby, Harry Mosier, and Sarah Leonard. And joining us now is Brian Hupp with Alticid. Brian,
how you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tell folks a little bit about your background.
Yeah, my name is Brian Hupp. I'm with Central Life Sciences. I've been with Central for about 5 years. I reside in Raymore, Missouri, and I get the pleasure of traveling the entire country and working with Purina with our Alticid fly control product.
Outstanding. You know, we're nearing wintertime now, and I guess my question would be, why should we be concerned about fly control in the wintertime, Brian?
Yeah, so when we talk about fly control, most people think about getting started early in the spring, and that's really important. But you've probably heard the phrase, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And so finishing up strong on your fly control is really important because what we're trying to do is give producers a head start on next year's fly season. And if they were to use our product in the Purina Wind and Rain Storm Minerals longer into the fall, you're going to have less flies overwintering in the dirt that are going to come out next spring, so you won't have that large explosion of the horn flies. So if you keep it in longer, you're going to take away quite a bit of those flies are going to overwinter. So that's really the goal behind it.
Give folks an understanding of the overall impact flies have on cattle operations.
Yeah, so for years, the industry's been using $40 per head in losses if you don't do something about the horn flies on your cows. Quite frankly, that's probably a 10 to 12-year-old number, so it probably could be higher, but I like to stay on the conservative side, and $40 is still quite a bit of money per head on someone's operation. And so between blood loss, the stress that animal's under, the reduced grazing, they're all bunched up in the corner of a pasture, it's not doing anything. They're just not going to be comfortable. Cow comfort's the name of the game, and they're just not going to be as productive. And so it does have a big impact. In fact, they say over $1 billion per year in losses to cattlemen in the United States.
That's folded money, as they say.
That's right.
Harry, what impact have you seen in your own operation? I guess I'd be curious to know what methods have you tried to control flies?
I think like most cattle producers, we've probably gone the whole realm of bringing the cattle in and spraying them and fly ear tags. We still do use some of the porons. But the luck we've had with the fly control product and the mineral, I think, has been really good. And like Brian said, if we can keep them out grazing, we don't have to worry about transfer of pink eye. Some of that stuff which horn flies cause, it's well worth having it out there.
So Brian, tell us exactly how this Alticid product works when we feed it through mineral.
Yeah, so obviously it's fed through the mineral, and ends up in the manure, passes right through that animal and ends up in the manure. That's where horn flies lay their eggs. And so when that horn fly lays its egg, it's going to go from egg to larva to the pupa stage and then come out as an adult. But when Alticid is fed and it's in that manure, that fly never makes it to the pupa stage. So it stops there and it just dies in the manure. So therefore you're able to control the number of flies that come out. And that's really the key, is breaking that life cycle. As Harry talked about, there's a lot of different ways you can kill flies. All of them have a place in the industry. However, we feel the best place to start is breaking that life cycle in that manure.
And talk to us about timing. When do we need to start in order to get that control you're talking about?
Yeah, so we have a 30-30 program that we say here's when you should start and when you should stop. Basically, you want to start 30 days before that last frost in the spring. Keep it in front of them all summer long, like we've talked about, consistent intake. And then come fall time, when you have that first frost in the fall, do it for another 30 days after that. And that's really important because those temperatures in those 30 days on both sides of that will get up over 60, 65 degrees, and flies will emerge and they'll breed and they'll feed on animals and they're going to lay eggs, and making sure we cut that out is really important. So,
Sarah, you get around and talk to a lot of producers. What are you hearing from other producers besides Harry relative to their experience with this fly control through the mineral product?
Well, I have positive feedback every day, producers that have used the products that might have had some doubts up front. I hear a lot that my neighbor doesn't use it, so I don't know if I should spend the money on the fly control feed-through product, and I can assure them that they certainly will see the benefits. I mean, we have cows that share fence rows, and we definitely can see a difference between the two herds. So it's very effective, and I recommend the fly control formula whenever I'm given the chance.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Dr. Cosby, I would ask you, clearly fly control is one production challenge. What are some of the other production challenges that we can address through a good mineral program?
Well, I think given the flies are something we can see and that we can help and take care of with a product like Alticid. Some of the other things that we can see that can be helped with mineral, I see a lot in the area I cover where we graze a lot of fescue forages. And we see cows standing in ponds a lot, and we blame that oftentimes on the fact that they're eating fescue, therefore their body temperature's high, and the cow's trying to cool off in the pond. And I think that certainly can be true. Those cows may also be trying to escape from flies as well, and that can lead to some mastitis issues potentially in those cows, some health problems for the calves, as well as some foot problems that we all deal with in our cow herds. They're just coming in and out of those ponds, and all of those things are secondary causes of potentially not managing our fly populations.
Great points. Thank you so much for your perspective, and thank you, Brian, for sharing with us a little more about Alticid. Now, there are a variety of mineral formulas to fit your operation and your management style. If you'd like more information, visit the website purinamills.com.